It's the early way, yeah. It's the early way, yeah, yeah. What's up? Welcome back to the Early Way. I'm Early Earl, and I'm coming at y'all with a quick recap of day 2 of the federal trial against the music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. But before we jump into all that, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment and let me know what you think. All right, let's get it. So, y'all, this is the day the courtroom stopped breathing. This is the day Cassie, Diddy's former partner of 11 years, took the stand. 8.5 months pregnant, dressed simply in black, Cassie walked into the Southern District of New York courtroom with poise, but you could feel the weight she carried. Not just the child she's about to bring into this world, but the burden of memory. And can y'all imagine being 8 months pregnant and have to relive this again and tell your truth in a room full of strangers? I know she was going through it, feeling all different types of emotions at once, and I'm pretty sure it stressed her the fuck out along with the baby. But shout out to Cassie for making it through. So let's go back to what she said. In her words, she began by recounting how she met Diddy at just 19 years old. He was 37, already a global icon. She was an aspiring artist. The power imbalance was immediate. So you can see the imbalance already. He here, she down here. He already established and she wanna be where he's at. Then came the control. Cassie described a relationship that became emotionally abusive and tightly managed. He made me feel like I owe him my life, she told the court. She said he dictated what she wore, who she spoke to, whether she could leave the house. She was isolated, she was groomed. God damn, did he? He did all that. And then came the freak house. So according to Cassie, freak house were drug-fueled sex parties orchestrated by Diddy. Escorts was hired. Cassie was often forced to participate. She described being filmed, sometimes without her consent, sometimes while under the influence. Those videos, she said, was used as blackmail. It's crazy how it came full circle. He used those as blackmail for her, and now these same videos is being used against him in a court of law. He said, if I ever left him, he'll ruin me, she told the jury. I said, I would have been the one to call his bluff. I would have left just to see how ruined he would, how ruined I would be because of him. I would have been the one to say, nigga, let me see what you gonna do. You feel me? Because who the fuck you think you talking to? Y'all, at one point she described an event that lasted multiple days, and I said, that's crazy. Multiple days? She was menstruating, exhausted, and yet she was forced to keep going. She said it stopped being a relationship. It became a job, a punishment. She also testified that she suffered from gastrointestinal damage, UTIs, mouth sores, and mental health breakdowns due to these experiences. I said, damn, she was going through it. All these years she was going through it and came into the public and just smiled for the cameras, but behind closed doors, she was being knocked between the washer and the dryer, they say. God damn. And to cope, she turned to drugs, ecstasy, ketamine, GHB, and mushrooms. And I said, could you blame her? If you're in that situation, feeling like you have no way out, and the only way you feel like you can escape is by numbing your body with drugs, no, it's not the best solution, but it's a solution that helped at the moment. So shit, I got ain't no telling what I do, so I can't blame Cassie. Cassie didn't stop at the emotional and sexual control. She detailed physical abuse as well. She described being urinated on by Diddy against her will and being forced to carry a firearm during an intense encounter, one of the most dangerous moments of her life, she said. He liked to play God, she whispered at the courtroom. And when they try to be on the level as God, shit don't always go in their court. The shit don't always work out for the best. It's only one guy. I mean, whoever you believe. You feel me? But ain't no next. We ain't finna get into all that. Inside the courtroom, it was dead silence. You could hear every shift of a chair. You could hear everybody breathing. Diddy sat there, no expressions on his face, not a flinch, no tears, just cold. His legal team occasionally whispered to him, but otherwise, he was unreadable. His mama, she was in tears. His daughters, they was not in attendance. But when the prosecution showed explicit images captured during the freak-offs, even the jurors visibly recoiled. So, they was taking it back. The defense covered the screen with folders. They didn't even want to see the shit. But the damage was already done. The jury the jury saw what they saw. They saw what Cassie lived. And then came the cross examination. Diddy's lawyers tried to paint Cassie as a disgruntled ex seeking attention and money. They brought up the 2023 civil settlement with Diddy. They hinted at jealousy, at regret, at a money grab. And Cassie didn't blink. She simply replied, "It's not about the money. I came here to speak my truth." I said, "Okay then, Cassie. Let them know. Shit, it ain't even all about that. I came here to tell my truth and move past this. This is a part of my life that I'm trying to move past. And if this the order of operations I got to go through to move past them, I'm gonna go through it." They asked her about the former male escort who escort she dated, implying bias, and she denied it. At what point, the courtroom grew tense as, the defense tried to interrupt her emotional recollection. But the judge allowed her to continue. I said, that's what the defense gonna do. They don't want the jury to see her doing all that, crying and shit. They gonna quickly, hey, hey, cut that shit out. But y'all, they had two major witnesses followed Cassie, and then they corroborated everything she said. Daniel Phillip, we met him on day one, a male escort. He told the court that he was paid to have sex with Cassie while Diddy watched. He testified he saw Diddy slap her and all that. And then came Israel Flores, a former hotel security guard, and he recounted responding to a woman in distress, calling and finding Cassie injured, her face swollen, her body trembling. He described Diddy stare as devilish. So he described Diddy face as devilish, and Cassie said that Diddy described himself as God. Y'all see that? Y'all see that though? Cassie said he described himself as God. This man said he had a devilish stare. Shit ain't adding up. It's not. So when Flores tried to help, Diddy allegedly threw cash at him and told him to forget what he saw. And Flores didn't. And that's why he here today to tell what he saw. I said, shout out to Flores. So, as day two wrapped, the judge called for a recess. Cassie was escorted out quickly, avoiding cameras. Diddy exited moments later, signing. The press buzzed, the internet exploded, but inside the courtroom, it was heavy. No one moved quickly, no one smiled, and now the world waits for day three, y'all. So what do we take from this? We got Cassie's testimony, and it wasn't just damning. It was transformative. It cracked the surface of celebrity. It forced the public to see the difference between a mogul and a man with unchecked power. And this trial isn't just about one woman and one man. It's about the abuse cloaked in success. It's about the price of silence, and it's about how far power will go to stay hidden. Y'all, we'll be here for day three tomorrow as a new witness is expected to take the stand. So we're gonna be right here to recover and give a quick recap. You feel me? I'm Early Earl, and this was a quick recap of day two of the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Y'all stay safe and stay aware. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.